Okay, welcome. We're here with lesson number 69, and I thought I'd share just a tiny bit about what Lisa and I were talking about a moment ago. Lisa came in and she was sharing about how supportive her friends are in in her endeavors and what she's really trying to accomplish in her life, which is peace and happiness, right? And so she has this support group, and I said, Lisa, do you know what those the course has a name for those people in our lives that are supportive and helpful and really in many ways always there. And the course refers to them as our mighty companions. And it's such a beautiful term, mighty companions. And so we are certainly your mighty companion in this. We don't have to be in the same location. You know, this is how we are really truly here for each other. And this is real hope. We can't look to the world for hope because there's none there. But real hope is this steady, consistent aspiring to the love and the light and the happiness that is our function. That's real hope. And so you might start to look around you and see and really notice. I've got some mighty companions on this journey, and they don't even need to know what this book is. It doesn't really matter. Spirit starts to work through everybody and everyone and everything once we make this decision. Well, they've been there all along, but then we start to recognize it. And now we really welcome that help and that support. My grievances hide the light of the world in me. Lesson number 69. This is why the Bible says, judge not, lest ye be judged. The moment I judge is the moment my light and my love and my joy is concealed. So I'd like you to begin today with your bolster, just like Lisa has her bolster here, right against the wall. Then you're going to turn around and have your head on the floor, your knees bent, and your feet flat on the floor. Don't worry about the bolster just yet. And then interlock your fingers under your head or have them out in that T shape. Lift your chin high, open the throat, and slowly turn to the right, nose toward your right elbow, and look for the first blockage. The simplest blockage, maybe a little stiffness. Sometimes it could be a little arthritic sensation, a little something sharp, could be dull, could be stiff. We don't care what it is, but we're going to recognize it. We might even recognize it as a grievance. If we go way back to the beginning, one of the beginning lessons, my thoughts are images I have made. This resistance I might feel in my neck really goes back to a thought. So whether the blockages show up in our body or outside our body, in others, through circumstances that don't meet our personal dictates or desires, then the grievance shows up. The Course says that we attack that which does not satisfy. And thus, we are not aware that we're making it up as we go. And so once you've befriended that restriction, that sensation in your neck, then you just let it go. Don't keep looking for the sensation, just rest. And I'll read the first paragraph here. No one can look upon what your grievances conceal. Because your grievances are hiding the light of the world in you, everyone stands in darkness, and you beside him. But as the veil of your grievances is lifted, you are released with him. Share your salvation now with him who stood beside you when you were in hell. He is your brother in the light of the world that saves you both. Straight to the point. Am I going to share my grievance with my brother? Or am I going to share my salvation with my brother, thus saving us both? Bring your head back to the center. Switch the interlock of your fingers. And slowly investigate the turn to the left. There's my ancient friend, the resistance. But like the Star Trek line that you probably all heard, resistance is futile. The ego may resist and resist and resist, but it is futile. In truth, it doesn't even exist. So we meet the resistance without resistance. Today, let us make another real attempt to reach the light in you. See, Jesus is just right beside us here. Let us work together to reach the light in you. Before we undertake this in our more extended practice period, let us devote several minutes to thinking about what we are trying to do. Let's get super clear on what we are trying to do. We are literally attempting to get in touch with the salvation of the world. We are trying to see past the veil of darkness that keeps it concealed. We are trying to let the veil be lifted and to see the tears of God's Son disappear in the sunlight. Tears of God's Son would be a sort of a metaphorical line referring to the fear and to the grievance and to the unrest that the collective mind shares, the ego collective mind shares. And as we lift the veil and resolve our grievances through forgiveness, then happiness and joy comes through all. We are not alone in experiencing the effects of our thinking. Bring your head back to the center. And release your arms to your sides. Okay, now you're going to extend your legs out on heels on top of the bolster with the knees straight. Legs together, feet together. And then I want you to bend your knees a little bit, inch in closer to the bolster. You're just going to scooch in a little bit, and then straighten the knees out again, feet to the wall. Press into the wall, press your belly down some, and straighten the knees. And I just want you to feel this sort of wedged quality between your back and the mat and your feet in the wall. And you can do that little movement a couple times. And sometimes you'll feel this stretch just underneath your skin on your backside. If your shirt and your skin kind of catch the mat, it's a lovely release, a sort of a subdural release for your backside. Arms at your side. Now keep this quality here just for a moment. The belly hollowing out a little bit, the knees straightening. You're working at about 25 or 30% of your effort, just maintaining the shape. Now, maintain the shape with your left leg And slowly bend the right knee towards your right shoulder. Keep your arms at your sides. Stand into the left leg. Bring the right knee toward the right shoulder. Mild to moderate effort. Notice the resistance. Notice the sensation. Interlock your fingers now behind the right thigh, under the calf, close to the seam in the knee. Let the calf muscle rest into your fingers. And now, just kindly press into the wall through the left leg. Straightening the left knee, let yourself sink into the shape in the right hip and the right groin. So a little repeat here. We are literally attempting to get in touch with the salvation of the world. We're trying to let the veil be lifted and see the tears of God's Son disappear in the sunlight. We're, in a way, another way might be say we begin to heal ourselves so that the separated ones reunite and join. We with them and them with us. Paragraph 3. Let us begin our longer practice period today with the full realization that this is so, and with real determination to reach what is dearer to us than all else. Salvation is our only need. There is no other purpose here, and no other function to fulfill. Learning salvation is our only goal. Let us end this ancient search today by finding the light in us and holding it up for everyone who searches with us to look upon and rejoice. Wow. And our mighty companions just come to the surface. Them for us and we for them. It may not look like that in form. Forget the form. Save the world. Save yourself. There is no higher purpose here. The purpose goes far beyond the worldly goals that we've established for ourselves, that we might have to get a degree or get an education or get a job and work through a career and all that. Now, all those things can be in place, but with the guidance and resolving the grievances, now you may be directed in a whole different direction. But nothing need change but your mind about these things. Lower your foot back to the wall. Maybe you need to inch in a little bit again. Press the belly and back down, straighten the knees, feel this stance into the wall. Stabilize the shape with the right leg and bring the left knee toward the left shoulder. And just have this experience, standing into the wall, folding on the left hip, arms relaxing, throat open, head heavy. Easy through your rib cage, easy through your face and the neck. And then interlock your fingers behind the thigh. Offer up the support of your arms. Keep the stance through the right leg. Very quietly now, with your eyes closed, try to let go of all the content that generally occupies your consciousness. Think of your mind as a vast circle surrounded by a layer of heavy dark clouds. Think of your mind as a vast circle surrounded by a layer of heavy dark clouds. You can see only the clouds because you seem to be standing outside the circle and quite apart from it. From where you stand, you can see no reason to believe there is a brilliant light hidden by the clouds. The clouds seem to be the only reality. They seem to be all there is to see. Therefore, you do not attempt to go through them and past them, which is the only way in which you would be really convinced of their lack of substance. We will make this attempt today. Lower your foot back to the bolster and to the wall. Just rest here a moment. In paragraph 6, it says, after you have thought about the importance of what you are trying to do for yourself and the world, try to settle down in perfect stillness, remembering only how much you want to reach the light in you today, now. Determined to get past the clouds. Reach out and touch them in your mind. Brush them aside with your hand. Feel them resting on your cheeks and forehead and eyelids as you go through them. Go on. Clouds cannot stop you. If you are doing the exercise properly, you will begin to feel a sense of being lifted up and carried ahead. Your little effort and small determination call on the power of the universe to help you, and God Himself will raise you from darkness into light. You are in accord with His will. You cannot fail because your will is His. Our grievances and the circumstances of the world that seem to upset us are nothing but clouds. It's only our belief in them and that reinforces them. It makes it seem like we can't get through. Brush them aside with your hand. Go on. Clouds cannot stop you. All right, now gently release yourself from the shape and roll onto one side. Bring this idea, as you push yourself up, bring the idea you cannot fail because your will is God's will. You cannot fail. Have a comfortable seat, maybe on the bolster, maybe leaning against the wall, whatever feels super comfortable to you. It says, have confidence in your Father today and be certain that He has heard you and answered you. You may not recognize His answer yet, but you can indeed be sure that it is given you and you will yet receive it. Try, as you attempt to go through the clouds to the light, to hold His confidence in your mind. Try to remember that you are at last joining your will to God's. Try to keep the thought clearly in your mind that what you undertake with God must succeed. Then let the power of God work in you and through you, that His will and yours be done. Bring your hands to your heart. And I'll share these couple little helpful prayers. My grievances hide the light of the world in me. I cannot see what I have hidden. Yet I want to let it be revealed to me for my salvation and the salvation of the world. And then it says, be sure to tell yourself, if a particular grievance comes up, say to yourself, if I hold this grievance in the light of the world, if I hold this grievance, the light of the world will be hidden from me. Yeah. We'll make our way through the grievances, the way we make our way through the wisps of a cloud, joined with the light and love that is what we are, salvation of the world. Namaste.